Well, we got the aged horses. Adrenaline Rush, again, is up for sale on Preferred. A couple of people that didn't quite get why he was up for sale. So he loses all his allowance for the classes, so he can't fit in the class he was in all along. Can't fit in that class anymore because he's 5. He loses his 25% allowance on his claiming tag also. And somebody said, well, we could put him in for 8 at Mohawk. Yep, he'd go for a straight 8 claimer, and I don't think he can win the class, but let's assume he can. I assume the horse brings $9,000 American tomorrow on Monday. I believe he will. I can't imagine he won't. If he doesn't, then we can talk about it after that. But I don't think Adrenaline Rush is a horse that we should be in a big hurry to get to Mohawk with or protect, quite frankly. He's a nice horse, does his work okay, but kind of in between classes. And no, I don't think he's a straight claimer at Mohawk. I know we've had a number of people saying, oh, he can definitely do in the 8. He might pick up checks in the 8, but I'm not really that interested in racing him in an 8 or picking up checks in an 8. I would rather move him on and look towards a horse that can make his way up through the classes. I'm not really interested in the claiming aspect of horse racing. If we buy some claimers, fine, but they won't be 8 claimers either. They'll be 20s or 25s. Horses that have some ceiling, some movement, that can move potentially. You get an 8 claimer, he's an 8 claimer, and I don't have much interest in waiting to see if Adrenaline Rush can do an 8,000 claimer at Mohawk. It's not on my list of things to do. Good as him, raced fantastic the other day. Very happy with him. Had I known him a little better, and I had to get into him a little bit early, moved him before we come out of the turn, really get after him. I think I get there with him the other day, but he was a little, what I would call as a driver, a little swimmy-gated coming out of the turn, and I didn't want to see him make a break. He had made a break on Brett 2 starts before, so I just didn't want to get in a position where we were foregoing second and be on the run. Now that I know him, I secretly, I kind of wish Stacy had raced him back at the Meadows, but it's a long haul for her, and perfectly fine with Brett Miller driving him at Dayton for sure. And the only thing I said to her was just keep him out of the open. No more feeding him to the Kings County crew anymore. And if they're gonna start doing that to Stacy in Dayton, then I'll just move him. I'll move him to the Meadows with Tim or whatever. And I think she's fine with that. I mean, Stacy's much like me. Her and Brett run a tight ship. They just want to be able to race their horses where they can do good. And the race office starts funneling horses into classes they don't belong. It's not good for anybody. Not us, not me, not you. Certainly not Brett and Stacy. So we're all on the same page. Looks like he's in a great class again this week in Dayton. So good luck to them. Just actually, honestly, very nice horse to drive. And the scouting report on him being moody and sour, and I didn't see any of that. I saw a horse that did his work very, very well. I couldn't have asked him to do any more, and I thought he raced really, really well. LD's Patrick is racing poor right now. Very poor right now. I just find it impossible to believe a horse that raced so well for us this year throughout the start of the year, and then we gave him a rest, has come back and raced so poorly. I was talking to Steve the other day, and he said, well, could it be that he just finally got a rest and said, I like this way better than racing, and I don't want to do that anymore? Yeah, he could. Yes, he could, I suppose. I just find it hard to believe, but it is a possibility. And it is what it is. We're going to take it as it comes. There's nothing really jumping out in his blood that says this is why he's bad right now. There doesn't appear to be anything physically telling me this is why he's bad. We do know some old lingering issues he had. Do we have to maybe go and investigate them? And even though he's not showing them a lot, maybe they are weighing on him a little bit. That's possible. Now, I'll be honest with you. He's racing on Monday. He's on the straight prayer program. We didn't change anything. We're just hoping that he goes out and races better. I guess we're going to let his hobbles out, but we're just hoping he goes out and races better, which I'm not a big fan of. But from time to time, you still got to put your nose to the grindstone and work. And the one thing, at least Patrick, he's never been shy of his work. So he might not be great right now, but hopefully we can keep him moving in a big way. And do some good in the future. So I'm not giving up on him. I like the horse. He's going to have to do really bad for a really long time for me to dislike LD's Patrick. I just like him too much not to. Locatelli's been racing great. When he's racing, he missed 2 weeks in a row, and I know Harry's getting a little frustrated because he knows what will happen. If he's not in this week, he'll have to go to the Meadows. I do not want to move Locatelli the way he's racing. I have no interest in it. Can't go to Dayton. Can't get around Northfield. I'm not sending him to the Meadowlands. So there's really only one place we can race Locatelli if the Open is seriously not going to fill, and that would be the Meadows. Now, I think the Open will fill this week. I know they were optimistic. They said a couple of horses dropped down that will have to go back up. I know what they're talking about too. If White Tiger happens to go Monday and win, guess what? He's going up to the Open again. So, and there's probably a few other horses in that boat. As I said, I've been pretty open about this. I don't like racing our horses against one another. This open trot situation's a little bit different. And I guess out of nowhere, the open pace situation has turned into be a little bit different also. But we're doing the best we can. I know it's easy for me to sit here and rag on the race offices. I was angry that Dover put yes in the Open. I don't like when they move our horses around to places they don't belong. But if I put that other shoe on for a minute, they're doing their best to fill race programs. I look at the Meadows, the poor buggers, 6-7 horse fields all throughout the program. You can't bet races like that, so their bet has to be, waning from that. Everybody's just trying to fill the best fields they can, and although it bothers me when they do it, I understand they're trying to do the best they can. Macho Martini got away at the back and finished at the back the other day. I know there's going to be, I was surprised Marco and a couple other people didn't say, can we take him to Mohawk? I think you guys understand he can't go to Mohawk right now. We have too many horses over here that fit those classes. And if I can move Macho Martini and move somebody out seamlessly, then that's something we can talk about, but we can't right now. Now Red Overbach is going out to the field, right? And Eldis Patrick, the way he's racing, he's not taking up any middle condition classes for sure. So do we have a place for him? Maybe. We're going to look into it. But I don't think getting angry because the horse had the 7-hole, got away 8th, and finished a good 6th or 7th is anything to be upset about. It's just the way the race shook down. He's not the first horse to draw the outside of the Meadows that, didn't get a fair race. It's kind of how post positions work. But I'm very happy. Tim has his horse racing very good. The horse looks good and is racing very good. So, rather than saying we should move him, I'm going to go the other way and say, great job, Tim, for having the horse very good. This is a horse we bought that was fractious, crazy, makes breaks. The only one he's made breaks on is Ronnie Wren. The only 2 breaks he's made for us. So I think we got ourselves a pretty decent horse that will do us some good, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions from an outside draw. My Jazz, she was terrible the other day. Straight up terrible. I asked Tim, I said, can you have your vet go over this filly? There's something. Just a power outage. She's not keeping up to the gate. She's not doing her work. And they did go over, and lo and behold, she had her hind ankles were bothering her, which makes sense. Not wanting to push off and leave, keep up to the gate. That left ankle did bother her from time to time last year. So yeah, I can buy into that. So they did do her ankles. I don't know if I'm down to drive her. I told him if I had to, if he absolutely needed me to, I could go drive my Jazz. Sweetheart. I know, just 1 second, honey. Thank you for being quiet, though. She's trying to get you. So my Jazz, I'm hoping, man, Compass Rose has been terrible. She went to the field. This is a complete failure in 2023 on all aspects of Compass Rose. Couldn't get her in full, and then come back and race terribly. You couldn't do any worse than that. Now my Jazz feels a little bit different. She feels she's on the cusp of doing a little bit of good. I'd love to get a mark of 55 or 56 on her, if nothing else, just for her. But not racing the way she did the other day. So hopefully they did her ankles behind, I believe. Hopefully she races good now. If it's myself or Dave Pallone driving, it's not going to matter. I just want to see her put her nose on the gate and come off the screen leaving. That's what I want to see. If you can do that, she's in the right frame of mind. You're going to the winner's circle with her next week. I'm certain of it. No free lunch. The horse has been, look at this. Oh my.
Got flipped right on.
No free lunch has been absolutely amazing as a 4. He's 4, right? Is he 5? No free lunch. He's 4. 4 or 5? I don't know. Either way, the horse has been amazing this year. Just been tremendous. It's right here. No free lunch 4. No free lunch has been amazing and raced great again last night. 49, fastest mile of his life, right before Christmas, last quarter 26-2, following up 2 weeks of sub 26 second last quarters. The horse has quietly become an amazing animal. We knew he had speed, right? I qualified him come 26 flat, his second lifetime qualifier. We always knew he had speed. But for him to grow up and put it together the way he has, especially coming off that fractured bone last year, the horse is amazing. The horse is racing incredible, and just something to behold. He's been a very, very good horse for us. Walk on the Moon has not been a very good horse for us for quite a while. But he just looked a little flat the other day, and not even flat for him. Like, he'll cheat a little bit sometimes, but that wasn't him the other day. He just didn't seem great. It looks like they got him, I'm just going by the morning line odds, it looks like they got him in a much better place this week. So we'll see how he races this week. Did you try this? Very good. Red velvet latte. It's amazing. So Walk on the Moon, that guy just went the ditch. Walk on the Moon, Hone the Tone, quietly becoming a horse that, although I haven't raced him yet, a horse that I really like. I trained him hard the other day at Northfield. Here's a horse that wore hobbles. Jason said he wore them his whole life. His whole life. He's qualifying without hobbles on Wednesday. I come half at 57 apiece, 58 with him over Northfield Park. When I tell you he's big, he is as big as this car we're traveling in right now. He is a massive animal. For him to not only get around Northfield Park, but get around Northfield Park, a half-mile track, with no hobbles on, the way he did last week, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that time off really, really helped him. I can't wait to race this horse. And he's a likable horse. He's a big giant. You been around him?
Yeah.
Just a big, gentle giant. Just a very, very nice horse to be around. So, Hone the Tone, I cannot wait to see. I'm coming right back after My Jazz's race to qualify Hone the Tone. That's how much I want to be there to drive him. In fact, I told them to put Dave Blown on My Jazz to begin with, because I wanted to be there to qualify Hone the Tone. Now, I do have time. Her race goes at 1:45. It's a 2-hour drive back to Northfield, and his qualifier will go at 4:15. So it gives me about 15-20 minutes to get from 15-20 minute window on either side. Sailor made a break the other day. This guy's not quite in the same situation as LD's Patrick, because LD's Patrick's in a funk. He just is. He's in a funk. But this guy here, a lot of questions to be answered. Is he tired? I don't think he is. Is he interfering? He was for Stacy. The other day, I noticed she had a head pull on him. I don't think he likes a head pull very much, but I can't say that that's why he made a break. I have no idea why he made a break. I will float it to her. If he's not going to get over the Dayton track, then we can bring him up to Tim. I just wanted to keep him out of a racetrack. Stacy and Brett have their own little farm there. They can turn them out, do a lot of work in a very quieter setting. That's great, because Sailor can get a little crazy sometimes. So I didn't want to send him to the Meadows, but he's probably a good fit for there. And if I have to, I will. We will see. Where are we at here? Kings County just got beat the other day. Raced great again. I jumped over. Stay close. Good call, honey. Stay close. Made a break the other day. I think his hobbles were a little long. That's on me. That wasn't on Tim or anybody else. That was on Anthony. Made a little break out of the 8-hole. I was leaving hard with him. He's changed a little bit as a horse, but the power's still there, and it wouldn't shock me at all if he mauled them on Monday. This horse always wants to work and is always looking for a fight. He come back really good. Raced good, but was running in bad his first start. I think we fixed a lot of that. So James is going to race him on Monday, and I suspect the horse will do well on Monday. Kings County, as I said, second the other day in the Open, came first over at the quarter pole. This horse just keeps going and going and going and going. Just been such a nice horse. And as I said to our clients, we fully intend to breed some of our mares to Kings County this year. I just think we'll do a little test breeding, see how his babies look. And he's not too old. I mean, by the time we get a real good look at Kings County's babies, he's going to be, 8? Doesn't make him an old, decrepit sire. No, he's 6 right now. Yeah, but I'm going to see the babies. I'm going to see them. Well, I'm going to see them in the field. And let's say he's 9, then we're going to see him. He's 9. And there'll be 2 crops coming behind him, possibly. So we'll see what we do with Kings County, but excited. I put it as very simply as I could. We love Ohio. We breed in Ohio, but here is son of Muscle Hill that set the track record in Scioto at Ohio in 51-4. Raced in a ton of major stake races, Grand Circuit at 2 and 3, was a $210,000 yearling, very well bred, and has made $200,000 in the open ranks in the state of Ohio this year. And he's made what? He's closing in on $500,000. How do you dismiss that? There's no way you can look at him and say, "Oh, it's not a nice horse." He's a very nice horse. So I think Kings County, that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, that's the Muscle Hill. Yeah, that's the Muscle Hill. White Tiger is race. Is he racing on Monday? No, he didn't get in. Did he? Oh, yeah, he's in. I got Resolute Bay in there. So White Tigers picked to win, I think, in that class on Monday and should do well. And actually, my wife pointed out to me a little while ago, if this will put him over 100,000 for the year if he does well this week. He's been good. He's been good. I mean, I'll always reserve a little, tiny little, not anger, little frustration with Tiger, because although he's made over 400 and he's been a good horse for us, he left a lot of money on the table his whole life. And it just is what it is. But, you know, I make fun of Walk on the Moon because he cheats, right? And you can tell he bothers me sometimes and has for quite a while. Tiger's not that much different from Walk on the Moon. Just a little handier, a little stronger. But mentally, well, they are very similar mentally. Just Tiger has more ability, raw ability than Walk on the Moon. But their attitude towards racing, Tiger's is a little bit better, but it's like you race them and, you know, you see the fuel light come on halfway down the lane and that's it, it's on. There's no, I think I can make it. I think I can. There's nobody ever read that train.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, nobody ever read that to them, I think. There's no I think I can. I think I can't. I know I can't. No, I won't. That's the way it is. But Tiger is a fast horse, and he probably will do very well on Monday. He's been very good. And I must say that my wife, Amy, has done a great job taking care of him. Has taken care of him for most of his life. So I am telling her, though, all the time that he won't be with us forever. We aren't running a retirement home. So at some point, White Tiger will be departing. And yes, I may have to sleep on the couch for a little while. I'm aware. I get it. But that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Yes. I was so angry the other day when I saw Yes in the Open at Dover, I almost put him on gate. That's how mad I was. That horse doesn't belong in the Open, but Dover, much like here and everywhere else, has a tough time filling the trots, I guess. And yes, I'm aware that Jimmy has a horse in the Nommers 8,000 he fits, but can you blame him? Do you think that Anthony McDonald can send Jim King a horse and I'm supposed to leapfrog himself and all his clients also? I didn't know he had a horse in the Nommers 8,000. Certainly wasn't pertinent information that I received. It's not the end of the world. We'll get the horse in the right class. I told him to tag him if he has to. And if this continues, where they're just going to race him where he can't do, then of course I will just put him up for sale. And this will be the first time we've been forced to sell a horse because the class is, I guess not the first time, but a horse like Yes, for sure. A horse that we've had forever. Yeah, for sure. Patrick De Piranha won 2 weeks ago. I believe there was talk of me racing him in the Meadows on Friday. I said to Stacy, I'm not in a big hurry to race that Let It Ride horse. The thing's a freak. Winning like 49 with the earplugs in. Let's try and move around. Let It Ride. And good for the owners to Let It Ride. You have a very, very nice horse. A better horse than us. I just don't want to tangle with you very much if I can help it. So I think maybe the Meadows Friday for him, possibly. If not, then Dayton next week sometime. Per Lucky will be coming back in about a week with the other two fillies to Ohio. Where we go with him. We don't have an open trotter at the Meadows. Is he going to race there? Possibly, yes. I can see that happening. Took a dive off Dipper, has been good for Jason. The only really flat race he went was last week. He's trained up, ready to go, but then drew the 7-hole at Northfield Park. So they're going to have to take what they're given again, unfortunately, with Dipper this week. And then Sintra, man, what a nice horse he's been. Second in how much we go the other day? 49?
For what?
James beat me with that mare so much more. Did we go 49? Yeah, I come 26 in a piece. I was trying to sneak him out in the last turn. It's a good thing I didn't. The best I could have finished was second.
Oh, wait, maybe it was 51.
I don't know what it was. Doesn't matter. He's been such a nice horse. He'll get in next week. Unfortunately, I hope he doesn't get in with no free lunch, but the odds of that happening are slim. So we'll see what takes place next week. For this week, you're all caught up. That's all your videos. Everything. Talk to you all very soon. Take care.